Boredom could never be more painful. I desperately grasp for anything to do that I'm willing to scroll down the App Store to find something interesting. Games were a number one choice, but the abundance of either endless indie games or really good games with really good prices, there's not much for me. One specific app caught my eye though, GhostFind. 4 stars and reviews were mostly modest. I clicked get and waited. After a while, I opened the app and quickly got oriented. It's a simple interface with a rotating black and green radar. It looped endlessly and the radius was about 4 feet from my phone. If there was a dot, it means a spirit was within the vicinity and a beeping sound would be heard. I stared at it for a good hour. You'd think that staring aimlessly at a rotating green radar was the dumbest way to fight boredom, but I never really got bored. In fact, my thoughts were enough to fill me with joy. I just needed the app to channel it. I snapped out of my thoughts and grabbed a bottle of beer from the fridge. I've been having a lot of these since then, and I think I'm gonna need more. Supply's already getting dry. As I opened the bottle, I heard it. A low beeping sound came from my bedroom. I went back to check out what was happening, and sure enough, it was the phone. The app was open and blinking. One green dot can be seen beside the center of the radar. The dot went fuzzy for a moment, then returned back to its round, clear shape. Below the radar, there were words, scrambled at first, but then they were rearranged to form one phrase. Please don't leave me. I felt chills behind my neck. I clicked help to investigate what I just saw. Turns out, the app can tell you what the ghost said if it was detected by the radar. I couldn't help but to laugh as the beeping sound continues. The sheer absurdity of the feat somehow lightened myself, even at the time. I put down my phone and continued with my beer, brushing away all the notices, hospital bills, and memos. I found the can opener. The beeping sound stopped as I drank my beer and watched some random guy talk about crocodiles. Given the show, it's easy for me to fall asleep through the volume of the TV. I woke up about 2 hours later to a beeping sound from my phone. The goddamn app was still open and a single green dot rests at the center of the screen. I should be annoyed, but the message that accompanied the noise filled me with terror instead. Everywhere you are, I'll be there. I jumped back confused. For a cheap app, that was specific. I checked the time, 4:35 a.m. I turned off the TV and headed back to my bedroom. It was trashed and under maintenance. I put my phone to silent and put it beside the bed frame. I fell asleep on my bed and was only awoken to my alarm clock, reminding me of a new Monday ahead. I groaned as I turned it back off and began to sneak back under the covers. I tried falling asleep again, but another buzzing kept me awake. I got up and looked at my phone. No text messages or calls, just the app. Frustrated, I checked it out before finally getting rid of it. One green dot, the usual. I was about to uninstall it when a loud bang happened. The frame fell and glass broke. I rushed to it, tearing up. The picture of my family lay there, along with broken glass. I suddenly realized something. It moved by itself. I jumped. The sound came from the phone. It was loud and ominous. My phone lay in the bed. That beep sound echoed throughout my room now. Its shrill tone drilled through my head. I picked up my phone and pressed the home button, but it didn't follow. It's lagging, but GhostFind was still running. The radar still rotating, with one dot in the center. It suddenly went fuzzy. The sound continued. The dot blurred for a while. I tried everything to exit the app. Home button, power button, anything. The dot suddenly stood still, and words manifested at the bottom of the screen. It wasn't much of a whole sentence. It was jumbled like before. Then it was rearranged. Dad, it's okay. It read, but now it had sound. At first, the sound seemed to come from the phone, but it sooner became clear where it was coming from. Behind me. The words were narrated in a child's voice. A voice I knew. I turned around. Then our eyes meet. His was scared and bloodshot. Mine was confused and teary. He wore the same clothes he did that day. He had the same wounds he got that day. He had the same look as I pulled him out of his car seat. Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe I was going crazy. but he was more real now than the last day I saw him. The dot went fuzzy again and words became jumbled, but as it was rearranged, he already spoke. I know it's hard, but please, Dad, you need to move on. Everything came flashing back. The ride, the rain, the impact of the car to the trees, blood everywhere, and the sounds of sirens as 911 responded. It was my fault. That was clear. Wiping my face, I hugged my son. He seemed calm and peaceful. As soon as we touched, he was gone just as suddenly as he arrived. That was a week ago, and I'm still recovering. My son might be gone, but I'll always remember the words the app flashed before he disappeared. I'll always be here when you need me. I haven't deleted the app. I don't think I have any intention to. I'm writing this review to tell you this. GhostFind is a great app. I highly recommend it. I give it 5 stars.